Man, I really hope that first one. Really hope that first one worked. I don't think it did. Son of a gun. Oh, maybe it did. No, it did not. Crap. Okay, I gotta start over. That sucks. What's up, everybody? This was supposed to be my second one, but for some reason the first one didn't take. So, super quick about what I'm doing here. So, if you haven't watched my videos before, I take a different approach to like the lore and things like that. I like to look at it more of a esoteric, psychological standpoint than kind of this true end game. Everything has to be by the book, blah 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 blah. But I've had some horrible experiences on Reddit with this type of stuff. People, if you are not like literally by the book, and have like an in-game reference that you can point to of like, this is why I believe this, and this is what Miyazaki at FromSoft said, so this has to be true. They completely dismiss it, and you get absolutely nowhere. And I just think it's a flawed way of thinking. Because from Demon's Souls, I don't think we have a single lore game of his like figured out where we could be like, as a collective unit, be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. This is why this is what this character means, and this is what this is, and this is what this item is, and blah 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 blah. So this is kind of why I'm making this this video. Is in front of me I have an Excel sheet of important, in column A I have important characters, items, locations, events, all that kind of stuff. Column B I have in-game canonical, what it means, and then column C I have what is the more esoteric symbolism version of that. And we're gonna gather all this data, we're gonna go through it, it's gonna be meticulous, and then we're just gonna present the facts as it is. And then from there, we're gonna look and see, okay, which one actually makes the most sense here? Which one do we get a fuller picture, a better understanding of the game? And then we're gonna let people decide for themselves. Because going on Reddit, trying to place a theory in there, and then just having it slaughtered to death because you can't be like, yeah, I talked to Miyazaki about it, this is what he meant, is ridiculous. So we're going to present both sides of the argument, we're going to let people decide for themselves, and then we're going to see which one actually makes the most sense, and then we're going to go from there. So it's going to be, luckily we have a couple months before DLC comes out, probably nothing confirmed or anything like that, but this is the point of this series. And I took a 6-month hiatus, so I had a character going, don't remember anything that I was doing or what I was saying, so I'm starting over. And here we go.
The fallen leaves tell a story.
So American Ratagun Both have one braid there. Their hair is important.
The great Elden Ring was shattered.
So what are they hitting?
In our home,
Nothing.
across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found.
Hairstyle was completely
In the
different there.
night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh,
One braid
rise now,
going down
ye
one side of her.
tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long lost grace.
And where are all these
speaks
dead
to
bodies
us
coming
all.
from?
Horalu, chieftain of the
Notice the
Bad
color of the
Lands,
sword and where it's at in his body.
the ever brilliant gold mask. Fear, the deathbed companion. The loathsome dung eater. And Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the
So-
fog to the lands between.
We'll start with basically this opening cinematic.
To stand before the Elden Ring. And
So
become
where are we?
the Elden Lord.
Right? We're inside the Erd tree and then we just pop out. And I believe that is the guidance of grace, right? Like, but we'll get into that. So we have so the opening cutscene talks about the Elden Ring was shattered, right? And if you look at it from a purely in-game text, you don't really know what that means yet, other than it seems to have this. It's an incredibly powerful item that is able to basically shape the world that we're in. It's kind of like the all-powerful, I don't know, thing that determines the current status quo and order of the given world. In my viewpoint, that represents America's psyche as a whole, and you can kind of see that, like, in that cutscene, they're not hitting anything, right? Like, they're almost hitting a chisel that is going down to something inside the Erd tree. So if the Elden Ring is like this physical thing, like the ring in Tolkien's sagas, like, it doesn't really quite make sense because they're not actually smashing something. They're using a chisel to smash down into the Erd tree. But the next thing we hear is about the lands between and how it's our home, and you have to cross the fog to get into it.
Fortune is on his side.
Don't really know what that means at this point.
We found him here.
Other than you get this, you are clearly at what I'm going to assume is like the base of the Erd tree before you pop out into the bright light.
One of his
So you're coming from the Erd tree into the lands between. I believe that the Erd tree is again a representation of America's consciousness. So you're coming from her consciousness. You're getting rebirth back into the world of her collective conscious, subconscious, unconscious, which I believe is the lands between. America the Eternal is another thing she's been missing for a long time, so that means that she has been present in a figure that's been out and about before. She's no longer doing that. She's reclusive for some reason, for some prolonged time now. And the fact that she's eternal means that she doesn't have a birth, a death. She doesn't have parents. She doesn't have. Eternal means that it's always existing, and that it is without beginning or an end. So, although America has a quote-unquote backstory of, she's Newman and all this type of stuff, because she's eternal, that means that she always was, she always will be, she didn't come from anywhere. It's kind of like the Christian God. Like, there's no explanation for where he comes from, right? Like, there's no backstory, there's no nothing. He just is, always will be. He's everywhere, he's not omnipotent, all this kind of stuff. So, I've seen a lot of theories about America having a stepfather and all this type of stuff, which could be true, right? Like, that doesn't mean that it's not true. But eternal is a very specific word. So, yeah. And then we see Godwin the Golden being killed. He's another figurehead of great importance that we'll talk about later. Demigods are each and all the offspring of America. I think that kind of gets us started. So we have kind of a very generic frame with which to work with. There's this thing called the Elden Ring. It was shattered, presumably by America, although it doesn't seem to actually be a physical thing. It's within the Erd tree, and that's also where we come from. After doing so, the shards of the Elden Ring shattered. One thing I never understood is it said that the demigods, her offspring, all claimed them. So I don't know if that literally means like they got like scattered out into the world and they found them, or they came to the Erd tree and picked them up, or what exactly that means. Again, in my viewpoint, that just is another, to me, they were offspring, meaning they come from her, they come from within her. They are not like a reproductive offspring. They are an offspring of characteristics and traits and personalities and things like that. And because her psyche got shattered They were no longer in one form. They were scattered, and each of them are now kind of their own god, right? So I don't think that ever actually gets talked about. And then there's us, the Tarnished. So the Tarnished seem to be outcasts of some kind. They seem to have a purpose at one time and then no longer do, but have been called back by the guidance of grace. But we get called back through the Erd Tree, right? Like it's clear in the opening cutscene that we come from the Erd Tree, because it's the same setting and stuff and same light that we see going into Radagon's boss fight. So we come into the Erd Tree, or we come from the Erd Tree back into the Lands Between. We don't know why, other than to seek the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. So, talk to our girl here.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog.
Hi.
I am Melina.
And notice her hair color too.
I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
All right. Thank you, baby. So, she has kind of like strawberry blonde hair. She has one golden eye, and the other eye is closed with the seal, the beast mark or whatever. The only thing she knows is that she is supposed to go to the base of the Erd Tree, and that you both need each other in order to do so. To me, she very much represents the current status of America and Radagon's order. Together, one has blonde hair, one has red hair. They are definitely all about the Golden Order and cast out any sort of beastliness and death. So she kind of represents, and kind of the same with, she has one eye closed. If you pay attention to America's hair styles, they change quite a bit throughout the game. And you see her going from a hairstyle with one long braid down one side of her face to a hairstyle with, you know, one long braid on one side and then another kind of half braid on the other side. And I believe that this is representative of kind of her current psyche and how balanced and unbalanced she is in her thought process and her order. Oh, Jesus. The fact that Melina right there only has one eye showing, and it's a golden eye, shows that if she is a reflection of that status and that current order, how unbalanced this world is that America and Radagon created. Again, that's the more symbolic, esoteric version, so if you're looking at just purely in-game, you would have no idea, you know, at this point you wouldn't really know what to make of her, other than she can apparently project herself into different spaces and times. She is incredibly powerful because she can turn, you know, runes into levels and all that kind of stuff. And that she's trying to get to the base of the Earth Tree, and she's going to help you do it. But that's kind of all we know about her at this point. And she doesn't seem to be of anybody of, like, import, because she's just kind of wearing normal garbs. She's not doused in gold or armor or anything like that. So. So, yeah, like I said, I want this playthrough to be as unbiased as possible to present both sides of either purely endgame. You know, it's from the, you think of it as like Gideon, where you're just reading text and you are obsessed with it and you think you're all knowing, but and you kind of dismiss anything that isn't written by Miyazaki or Martin, handwritten note from them. Or you can think of it as more of a symbolic pursuit of all these different characters and items mean something. And they're not meant to be taken as literal, you know, they're not offspring of America in a sense that they are from a reproductive standpoint, but rather they are from a more symbolic offspring of, you know, like thoughts and feelings and things like that. But I'm trying to be unbiased and to just present the facts and come to a conclusion at the end. And we'll just kind of keep, as major events and major characters unfold, we'll just kind of keep doing what we're doing, presenting both sides and seeing what makes sense. So there's... And this is not what I wanted. Come on. You coming? Come on now. Come on. So here's what I was talking about. So this is a Statue of America from... do I already have a... Oh. No, I don't. Oh, I buy it from him. We can... So it's a statue that we see at the beginning where she's calling back the Tarnished. One... There's a couple of things to look at here. Is one big braid going down one side of her face. It's also, I believe, the same side of her body as Melena's golden eye. And then if you look at the back here, you can see the motif of the tree starting to take hold. So this is, to me, a younger America who is still finding herself. Or you can, you know, if you're looking at it just as a statue, she just grew up and changed her hairstyle. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it. And they decided to make that into a statue with different hair. I don't know what to say about it. Go talk to our man up here. Get some good stuff.
You're a Tarnished. I can see it.
How?
But I can also see that you're not after my throat.
Mm-mm.
Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
Cool. I definitely want that. Thank you. Want that. Take all 3 of those.
I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only Tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer.
Cool.
Goodbye. Nice to do.
Goodbye. So another thing that we learn quickly is that we can talk to Melina, and she is able to appear and disappear basically at will, or maybe at our will. So although she has a physical form, it's more of a projection of herself.
This tiny golden aura is the grace of the Erd Tree. This light once shone in the eyes of your tarnished brethren, but now it is all that guides you. Also I hear, you can see them, can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I always wondered is, it seems that not every Tarnished can see the grace, but it also seems that it points in different directions depending on kind of what your destiny is.
Upon the cliff in Castle Stormvale is a shard bearer, a demigod, who inherited a fragment of the shattered Elden Ring. If the rays of grace signal the castle, then the Elden Ring beckons you. As an ally by pact, I pray that you are fit to face the challenge presented by the ring.
Me too.
Upon the cliff in Castle Stormvale is a shard-bearer, a demigod, who inherited a fragment of the shattered Elden Ring. If the rays of grace signal the castle, then the Elden Ring beckons you. As an ally by pact, I pray that you are fit to face the challenge presented by the ring.
So there it kind of is another clue as to what I was saying earlier about it doesn't seem to be that every single person is guided to the same location and is guided to become the Elden Lord. It seems like they all kind of have their different areas that they kind of hone into, or that they're directed to. And for some reason, we are, because it's pointing in the direction of the cliff into Stormvale, the Elden Ring beckons us. So, again, if the Elden Ring, if we look at it as just an item, why would it beckon us, and not just every single tarnished? If what's special about us, the player character, that is not so special about every other tarnished? And the same would be true if you look at it as a more symbolic. If the Elden Ring represents Marika's psyche, and her psyche is beckoning us to her, what does she need from us in order to be healed or developed further, or whatever that is? So, moving along. Hello. Whoop. Come on. So, I think the fact that the first kind of mini boss that we fight is a beastman, it's either just a coincidence and it's here for really no reason, because we later find out that they're extremely difficult enemies. I mean, even in later game, they kind of kick your ass. Or it's the way that we're experiencing the game in the world is more of a it's through a timeline, and we know that the Beastmen are from way, way, way in the past. I didn't know you could talk to her here.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose, given to me by my mother inside the Erd Tree, long ago, for the reason that I yet live, burned and bodiless. There is something for which I must apologize. I've acted the Finger Maiden, yet can offer no guidance. I am no maiden. My purpose was long ago lost.
So there, so she has a mother. She comes from the Erd Tree, so pretty obvious who her mother is. And to me, she is definitely a demigod. I believe that she has the rune, like the long nail-looking rune. Once we get to the Forge of the Giants, you'll see that. To me, I believe that she represents the reforging, if you will, of the Elden Ring and of like kind of the current status quo and the current order of the world. And that's her purpose, is when things get out of whack, she guides the different things back into one place. And her great rune is that of the nail, which cements everything back together and makes the world kind of recycle again. But it sounds like that her reasoning or her purpose for doing so has not been part of her life for a very, very, very long time, to the point that she probably sounds like she doesn't even remember what she's supposed to be doing. But because she comes from the Erd Tree, and she seems to be a direct offspring, right, of America, although it doesn't say directly who her quote-unquote father would be, that would make her a demigod. Let's see, yeah. Oh, let's look at... Wow, I went the completely wrong way. Holy moly. Map of the western region of Limgrave. What is that word? What? Of Limgrave, far south of the Erd Tree, is bordered to the northwest by the cliffs of Stormville, and under its ever-clouded skies roll the great steeps of the Pale Lands. Dude, what does that mean? Let's go south. Might as well. I wonder if I can kill this guy. Probably not. Oh god. Ow. Oh, damn it. don't think I'm ready for you, bro. I don't think I'm ready at all. Oh shit, I hate that move. So kind of touching back on why I believe that we fight the Beastmen soon, and why I think some of the first statues you see of Marika seem to be of her younger self, based off of her hair and the tree motif and all that kind of stuff. Because I believe that we're going through time, through Marika's kind of younger developmental years, and into her present time that we see once we actually get to the Erd Tree. Some strong rats. So there's a statue of America around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find it and get a... Oh, you... Where you at? Oh, you're big. Let's see, where is this statue at? Is it off to the side somewhere around here? Probably. Let's see. Does anybody know exactly where this statue is at? Could help a brother out. What's up, dude? Anywho. I don't even really remember where that takes you. Should we do the dragon? Sure. Sure. Lee. Shit. That was so bad. Jesus criminy. That was terrible. Oh, God. Well, at least we're gonna see the stake. I think all these stakes are actually the same. God bless America. Get off your horse, idiot. Okay, so that gives you a little better idea. One braid going down one side of her face. Seems to be the same side of her face that Melena's golden eye is on. And she has kind of the beginnings of the tree motif, golden tree motif, mind you, taking shape. So to me, this is very much her younger years. Whoop. What? What? Oh! It's been a while, guys, okay? Fuck me. Dude, get your shit together, Jake. Oh my god. That was great. That was so good. Oh. Oh my god.
This way, tarnished.
Oh.
May I have a word?
How to get back here? Fine. God. Are you mad at me?
A pleasure to meet thee, tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent. Ah, as I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee, by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits.
Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree. The spirits will obey thine command but briefly. As they recall battles past, now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
Bye. So she has some pretty interesting stuff there. First off, she gives us this. So ash remains in which spirits yet dwell. Used to summon 3 lone wolves, spirits of wolves chased from their pack. They later encountered a nameless Tarnished, who welcomed them as hunting companions. The wolf spirits overwhelm enemies with their agility, aiding the summoner in combat. So the fact that there's 3 and they're aiding Tarnished, I think is an important kind of theme to recognize. 3 seems to be this very negative thing in this world, but it seems that the number 3 help Tarnished along their way. So, and you know, Ronnie just said that they were gifted by the former master of Torrent, which the only person that we know is Melina. So Melina gave this to us as a gift, or gave this to Ronnie in order to help us along our journey. Now, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it as Ronnie saw this as an opportunity for us to do her bidding. She saw that her sister was doing the same thing, so she decided to do it as well. And she used our trust with Melina in order to grant her, you know, basically access to us. And if we look at, you know, there's 3 different butterflies, there's 3 different crystal buds, there's 3 different all sorts of stuff that seem to be necessary for the cycle of life, which has been absent in the lands between for quite some time. So yeah. And then outside the obvious that she is, you know, she has the eye that Melina is missing. Okay, dragon. My God. Ridiculous. Are you fucking... I thought we saw you roared first. Jesus. Where are my PD souls? But again, I'm just leaving them. Just leaving them. You can have this lake. It's all yours. Breathe. Do it. Do it. Oh, of course. Oh, I wonder if they'll get him poisoned. Nope. Seeing that. Dude, again with it? Oh, what the hell am I doing? Oh, you son of a bitch. God damn it. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Breathe. Breathe fire. Breathe fire. Don't disappear on me. Don't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Good. Oh no. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. A couple more here. Gotta bleed at some point. Oh, come on. Woo! Gotcha. Alright, I've got Dragonheart. We are gonna go talk to what's his name? I want to pick this up first. This is an important item. Arteria leaf. One thing, so as we get further along and we uncover more and more of the map, it will be very obvious that it is a fetus in like a mother's womb. And this dark red leaves with thick swollen veins, material used for crafting, blah blah blah. A faint pulse can be felt in the veins, stirs the blood, providing an enlivening effect. So the fact that it has a pulse tells us that the very ground that we're standing on is alive. That it is its own entity.
You must be the new Tarnished. Beautiful work. Felling that dragon. And
Thank you.
such. There's something you might like to know. The heart you brought back. It's used in dragon communion. If you should find yourself overcome by hunger for the heart, yearning for its strength, then seek the decrepit church on the little island off the western coast. You must not forget, though, those who partake in dragon communion will one day shed their humanity Their hunger for dragon, their yearning, only worsens until the floodgates burst, unleashing eternal torment. The strength of a mighty dragon. Magnificent. But deadly. It's no surprise that dragon communion is ruinous.
That's almost like, very much like Fear the Old Blood in Bloodborne. It's like, oh, it'll make you strong and get you down a path, but is it a path you want to go down? Mm-hmm. I want to look at that. Dragonheart. Dragonheart seized by a dragon tracker. I don't know why it says that. Like, we're not really a dragon tracker, but riddled with gravelstone, this grotesque organ continues to beat vivaciously. An offering using the dragon communion. Consume a dragon's heart at the altar to make its power yours. While a terrible and savage-looking thing, the heart has a peculiar beauty to it. Alright, I think I'm just gonna go patches. Hour. Yeah, I think I'll just go to Patch's spot, and then that'll be it for today. Might do another one tonight, and we will go from there. Just gonna go and sit down, and then we'll see you guys at the next one. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think it's worth doing to present kind of both sides of. Oh fuck! I forgot that this guy just attacks you. To present both sides of the kind of lore coin, one that is just strictly by the book, and you know regard the text as sacred and something that shouldn't be strayed from. And then there's more of a. It's kind of like looking at the Bible in two different ways. Like, some people look at the Bible and they're like, yep, that definitely happened. There was a guy named Moses, and there was a guy named Jesus, and all this stuff happened. And there's some people who look at it as like, no, it's just meant to be a symbol of... Are you gonna come help me, dude? Where are you? He's faster than me! And I'm not saying that there's going to be one way that's definitely like this is the way. But I think one will be much more clear as to painting a more full picture and realistic one. One that actually makes sense, as opposed to one that you have to really like believe of a lot of other things, and kind of cherry pick your way through it. So that's kind of the goal with this, and we'll see where it gets us at the end. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace.